Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of 3D Dollars, Dreams, and Discussions with your hosts, Uncle Will and Shannon B. What's up, everyone? I am Uncle Will, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode. We have a few guests here, and before we get to introducing them, I got to turn it over to my compadre, my buddy here. Tell him who you be.
Hi guys, it's your girl Shannon B. Tuning in again. So happy to see you. So happy you guys have decided to join us once again.
Yes.
On the 3D podcast.
So we got these guests here. You go into telling us what this episode is about. This week's episode.
So our topic today is dating and relationships according to Gen X. Well, I'm actually outnumbered today because I am a proud millennial. But
for real.
Some of them got millennial kids, but
that's why I can say, oh my goodness. Wow.
But I'm proud. Sure. I'm proud of my group too. But most of my friends and associates are in Gen X anyway, including my fiance. So I can relate to them quite well, I think.
Okay, that's what's up.
But before we get started, we're going to introduce our amazing guests. So starting out here to my left, we have Miss Kim. Please introduce yourself to our wonderful subscribers. Tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Kimberly Storks. I am 54 years old. I just turned 54 this Christmas, and I have a 32-year-old son and a 26-year-old daughter. I like walks in, by the water and
like for real, she really does.
Poetry. I mean, I'm pretty peace and love, but yeah, that's me.
She's an earthy girl.
I am.
Yeah, she's very earthy because I haven't heard that in a long time. I like to take long
walks by the beach.
And all that good stuff. Okay.
I do.
And so to my right, I got to introduce my man. Tell me about yourself and who you are.
What up, y'all? I am Chris Moore. My nickname is Coach Chris. Everybody calls me Coach Chris. I am a real estate agent. I'm the top male realtor in Metro Detroit. There we go. I also coach high school football. We just came off of a Division I state championship at Southfield A&T. So go Warriors, first state championship. And I am 43 years old. I'm a January Capricorn. It's Capricorn season, so everybody else just sit back and watch the show.
Dig that.
Alrighty then.
Yes.
Well, since everybody tell their side, well, I'm a Taurus then,
Right.
So, not that mean anything anymore, but, let's get into it. So we're talking about dating in regards to Gen X, my Miss Millennial over here. So I'm married, so I haven't had to go on a date in a long time. But the choices out there that those who are out there dating, it's really wacky to me, man. I mean, I say that because I never had to go onto a website like on my phone, and now you have these Tinders and
He said
Bumble.
Tinders.
I mean, that's a Tinders.
Tinders.
They got Tinder. They got all these other different dating sites that I can honestly say I never had the opportunity to use. And so, me and my wife, we've been together for over 20 years now. And so back then, the internet was just really getting into full swing or whatever, So tell me, you're engaged now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how was dating for you before he actually locked you down, though?
Well, I would say I'm the type of person I wasn't claiming people. So I was never a big relationship person.
She wasn't claiming it.
No. We could go out, have a good time, all that, but I'm not claiming you. Like, my claim to fame of people who could actually be on the list that I could say was my boyfriend is probably I could count on one hand. So
Dang.
yeah, this is my first long-term and most serious relationship. So
Okay.
yeah, I was very intentional about like I could smell somebody in about a week. Like, this ain't gonna work.
Hold on. What do that mean? You can smell somebody?
Cause I'm just into like I love to ask questions.
Mhm.
Like I study people, so I'm like into every like. I say now I know if he loses an eyelash. Like that's how closely I'm watching you. So I ask those. By the time I get them questions out, I know already. I'm like, nope. Now I'm gonna waste my time. Like it amazes me when I see people are married for X number of years and then they like, oh, what's their middle name? I don't know. Like, what was y'all doing during the dating phase? Like nobody was asking no questions. You didn't know that they didn't want to move out of state. You didn't know that they didn't
what
like.
they was doing in
I'm
the dating
surprised
stage.
that you're engaged to a Capricorn because we don't like questions.
He hates it.
Oh my god.
He hates it.
Yeah.
Oh my
But
god.
he loved me. So
Yes.
That's a
somehow,
balance. That's a
yeah,
balance.
Right.
Yeah.
I got away with it, but yeah, he hates it.
Yeah.
He hates that it just always asking because, you know, y'all are very like in y'all head, like y'all move on y'all own time, y'all do what y'all want to do. So all that is circumventing the process. Like, why you asking me that? What?
Yeah.
You don't need to know all that. You know,
Yeah.
very close to the chest. Like,
For sure.
you know when I let you know.
Yes.
So yeah.
So you say you a Capricorn, and you say y'all the Capricorn men keep things close to the vest. So are you married or are you dating anyone right now?
I'm newly married.
Oh, okay. We
He's
got
a
no.
newlywed.
Okay.
Newly married, and the dating scene. Not that I'm a part of it, but I keep my ears close to the streets.
There you go.
And you know, like you said, the most important part is the dating hasn't. The game has changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the game has changed, and I don't want to get into a Venus versus Mars type of thing, but women set the standards when it comes to dating, and they have just jacked it all up. Like
We set the
so,
standards?
yeah, it's yeah.
You know this?
I didn't know.
Women.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I gotta hear this.
So
Man.
by saying that, women, you know, y'all say what goes. Like y'all,
Truly do.
we do what y'all allow. You know, so the way the game is going now, there's no like. I dated my wife when I met her and we started dating. She had a 90-day rule, right? And I was like, okay, cool. I read about that before, but whatever, you know. But let's do it.
Yeah.
And we literally dated for 90 days. Like that was her rule. Like whatever, you know, if she had a little breezy on the side that she was whatever with, you know, she was gonna get 90 days of dating out of me before there was any action.
Yeah, I
right.
got you.
And that, you know, women set the standards. Well, today, man, you send a couple text messages or a couple inboxes, and you know, you like a couple pictures, and
That's right.
you can pull up with a bottle of Casamigos, man, and this, you know,
The
that's the
Casamigos.
game now. So, and women, it's we do what y'all allow us to do. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
And I agree with that too.
That's
And-
very, very, very true.
I mean,
and
it
women
is.
don't want to recognize that. Like
Yeah.
y'all hold a lot of power that y'all let go quickly.
So I've heard them say that women hold access to sex and men hold access to marriage. Do y'all agree with that?
100% I do.
I would say because I'm a firm believer in the power of the P. Okay.
For sure.
Women has power. Okay. They have some strong, shall I say, strong power in the P. And a lot of women don't recognize that power that they have.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And they don't pass it down to their daughters to let them know, hey, you know, you don't got to always give it up just like that. Because just like him, my wife, she made me wait 90 days as well. And like I said, this was over 27 years ago. Now, that was the first time I ever experienced something like that. I didn't get a chance to meet her kids. You know what I'm saying? I had to wait for all that or whatever. And it was something different for me. Whatever. I'm like, okay. Since I'm on this whole new journey of not trying to be a cheater no more, you know what I'm saying? Well, so this is something new to me. So it's new to me to not being a cheater no more, and it's new to me to have to wait for sex. I'm like, look, it was a lot of long nights where, because she was in this apartment, And I swear, it seemed like the freaking walk from her door to the elevator was like the Green Mile. I'm like, God dang. What
Okay.
is going on? No, look, I am not lying. Okay, like you know how we do. Like, come on, just.
Oh, yeah.
No. I'm like, God dang, you be out there against the wall. Like, oh. So, but look, I'm just kidding.
Splash of cold water.
It's real. It's
just
real.
keeping it
The
real,
struggle
right?
is real.
And
It's
so
real.
I can respect what the brother's saying because I married her. And we're together and we became a blended family. Her four, my two, like the Black Brady Bunch. You know what I'm saying? And all of them grown now, you know, doing their thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And we still together doing our stuff. So I'm thinking maybe it's the approach now, because when you go back to what he's saying, like y'all have control, what would you say is your approach to dating in today, 2024? What would be your approach?
Well, I have a very old-fashioned approach, much like the 90-day rule, but it's not the 90-day rule.
Okay.
I ask a lot of questions. There is no sex prior to us getting to know each other, only because I did it in the past and it failed me miserably. So now I want to get to know the person. I want to have conversations. And it's really important to see people in a lot of seasons. You know what I mean? So you have to see them when they're mad. You have to see them when they're happy. You have to see them when they're broke. You have to see them in all these different seasons to kind of get to know the person. And so I take my time with it. And then a lot of people, you know, like, peace, I'm out, because, you know, it's taking too long. But that's not the end goal for me. Like, I'm dating for marriage at this point. And so it's important to me to get to know the person and to get to know, I don't really want to meet their family right off. But, you know, I do want to get to know them, what they like, what they dislike, what they do in their downtime. You know, if they go to work all day and then every time you see them, they got to have a drink or they got to have a smoke or they got to, you know, that tells you something about them. You know, maybe they are struggling somewhere in their mental. So I think it's really important to get to know people. And I think you have to take your time to do that. Most of the time, people, they want these microwave relationships, just everything got to happen right now. That's not what I do. So I kind of take my time, get to know the person, spend time with them. That's my approach. And I'm not fully sure that's working, but I know it's working better than what I was doing.
So I had a question.
Yeah.
Do you think, because most men think, do you think you can get to know a person while doing all of that and having sex? Because, and I say that because men are impatient when it comes to the no, and when you tell a man right off rip, hey, look, we can go out, kick it, all that, but you ain't getting none. He probably done right there.
Right.
You know, because you're putting that, like, right, it's kind of like you're limiting
A
how
barrier.
far we can go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Because
for
what if we go on this date and you don't say that and we get along good and it's just a vibe and it just happens?
Yeah.
Because to be perfectly honest, some of the best relationships I've had were the ones that started out with sex.
A lot of people say
I'm
that.
dead serious.
A lot of people say that.
I'm dead serious.
It's not, I get it.
And
I get
for the
it.
record, I married my wife, but we did not get married right away.
Okay.
Yeah.
After the night, like, we split up for years, you know, and, you know, we just came back, found our way back, but that didn't get us to marriage.
Right.
You know, so, and some of those dates where, hey, we go out, this is our first date, we had sex the next day, them relationships last a long time. You know, and you get to know them in a better, some of the best conversations happen laying in the bed after sex. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, nothing tops pillow talk. Pillow talk is, you know,
Pillow talk is
you know,
powerful.
so, yeah. So,
Pillow talk is powerful.
yeah. So I just wanted to ask if you thought, like, comparing that to your old ways of dating,
Yeah.
like, you know.
So I think that you can get to know a person and still be
Okay.
intimate and still have intimacy for sure.
Okay.
I think for me, to be very transparent, it was the quality of the person. It wasn't that we were having sex. It was the quality of the person. So if they had ill intent, right, and now we're having sex, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, you men tell me if I'm wrong. Sometimes men use sex in a way that is controlling or that manipulative. They have, or some men have, I'll say that.
What do
I
you
think
mean by
women do
that?
that more.
Like, explain
yeah.
more.
I don't-
Like so I wanna get this girl. The girl is me. I want to get this girl, and so I get her and we have sex. I know that she's emotionally attached to me now, and so now I'm doing things that are kind of doggish because I know she got this emotional attachment to me.
I find that when the woman is emotionally attached, she's the one that uses the
Agreed.
Really?
as a tool.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying, to try to keep the man in check or
Really?
keep him, in tune to her by trying to withhold or use
Okay.
it as a bargaining chip. Now, I do know some men when they are dating or whatever, and let's say the brother got it going on. You know what I'm saying? He's financially stable.
Yeah.
He's good to go,
Yeah.
and he knows that he's a hot commodity, right? So a lot of women's gonna try to come after him. So he gonna make you work.
He's a high value man.
I mean,
Right.
and let us just
Well.
be honest, because a
Yeah.
lot of you women don't have a lot of choices. I mean, we have a lot of choices. We got bridge card chicks. We got women that's Fortune 500. I mean, Fortune $20. I mean, we have a lot.
He
of
said he
choices.
got all the choices.
I mean, but
Our pickings are slim.
y'all picking us slim because, and a lot of times, especially when you're dealing with Gen X
Yeah.
women,
Yeah.
y'all patience is not all that good. I'm just saying.
She almost passed out. Guilty.
Y'all patience is not all that great.
Now, I laughed at that not because that's me. That's not me.
No.
I have the patience
Of
of
Joe.
right. But you are absolutely right. When I get around my girlfriends and they start talking about the things and the men and the level of testosterone that they are, it's just like whoa, whoa. Just no patience, no. Everything is rah, rah, rah. And I just think, God, what happened to femininity? What happened to women being women? And I understand we all go through stuff. We have traumas, traumatic situations and whatnot. But does that change you into a man? I just don't.
The
I don't feel like
femininity,
it should.
It went away when they started developing the "I don't need a man" attitude.
Which is a lie.
So now,
All lies.
they feel like, well, what I need you for. I've had women when I was saying, what I need you for. And I'm like, oh, okay. And women think, especially a successful black woman,
Oh man.
don't let it be, don't let her have a $200,000 a year salary. Brother in trouble.
He's in trouble.
He in trouble.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I talked to women. They said, well, if I'm here, he got to at least be here or higher. And so I put an analogy. I put like I asked a question. I said, so let's say you six figures, and this guy, let's say he may be 40, but hey, 55, 60,000. Do we have a shot with you? The answer that I got from a lot of professional women was, no.
Nope.
Now, my thinking is, you already, you combining your resources together. You are a six-figure plus income home now. He may not have health care and all the other stuff, but you have it. Do you have a problem putting him on your health care? Oh, no. Why should I put him on my health care? No, he marrying me, so I need to be on his. But my thought is that if you already got it and you love this man and you want to be with this man and you see some potential, you see some up in him, why do professional women tend to put a restriction on pursuing this man. Like it's gonna lower their credit score or something. Like it's gonna lower their, something
Right.
with their girlfriends or something. It's like
Right.
a lot of them. Like it's like no, he has to either be here with me or higher.
Oh.
I don't care about potential or nothing.
But do you feel like that's because of an experience that they've had where they like they tried it and it went terribly wrong?
But women, and like they're the only one who went through trauma. Like they're the only one who've been hurt. Men, we've been hurt
You
too.
know where it come from? It comes from them going to the bar with their girlfriends, and they can't say, "Oh, that's my man right there," and they like the plant worker that just make $50,000 a year. That no, they can't, because now she's a corporate boss, right? And she can't. He doesn't on paper. He doesn't stack up to something she can brag about.
That's a good point.
That's
There
the
you go.
problem.
That's
Yeah.
a good point.
That's
That
one of
is
the
a good
problems.
point.
Yeah.
Whereas that same guy, when she leave the bar, is probably coming over and knocking the lining out of her.
Yeah.
Secretly.
Yeah.
But she can't tell her girls that's him.
Right. She can't
You know.
walk him in public on her arm.
He doesn't wear
Yeah.
a suit every day. He's a production guy. He work with his hands. He's an hourly worker instead of salary and things like that. So when you get those circles of women who make six figures and they're sitting around discussing life and their income and their families, and then nobody wants to say that my man or the guy that I'm dating or the guy that I'm in love with is less accomplished than me, because the rest of the girls we seen a movie. Tyler Perry made a movie.
Angry Man Back Home, was it?
No, it had the little girls. The guy had the
Yeah, I know.
daughters.
Yeah. I know
Remember?
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
No,
not
no,
Color
no.
Girls.
But
the movie with
What was it?
Idris Elba
Yeah.
and Gabrielle Union,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so remember, she wanted him. She
Yeah.
was in love with him, but he was broke.
Yeah.
And she was a high-powered attorney, and she wouldn't dare tell her girls
Yeah.
about him. She didn't even know how to be real in his environment, in that tiny apartment, to be a stepmom, to eat at a restaurant in the hood. She didn't know how to do that. And around her friends, she couldn't bring it up because of who she was. And sometimes we have to remove all of those layers, all of that superficial stuff, and just find happiness
Yeah.
and do what makes you happy. And women have a problem. A man has no problem
Yeah.
making six figures saying, "Oh, that's my girl right there," and she the cashier at Walmart.
This is
right?
true.
He has
Yeah.
no
That's
problem.
the
That's
difference
very true.
with the opposite
None.
sex. Yeah.
Yeah.
A man ain't got a problem picking up a woman at a bus stop.
Not
Right.
at
True.
all.
That's true.
Very true.
That's
a woman
true.
does. You know what?
Well,
It was
y'all
funny.
rap has to
You
do
know
that
what? It was
bus.
funny because it was this was on IG maybe earlier this year when they asked a question about if the man was a bus driver, would they date him? And this girl comments, that's what made it go viral, because she was like, "Nah, he need to own the bus fleet in order
Wow.
for me to date him." And they was like, "Girl, he got a job. He's a bus driver. He got benefits. He
Yeah.
got this." And it was like a back and forth thing. But it went to most women's thought process that he had to be this in order for us to live that IG life. I'm gonna say that IG life.
Yeah, I
That-
was just
that
about
social
to
media,
ask.
that
where does
social
that
media
come
life, because
from?
I think that's where a lot of it
Oh,
kind
it
of
yeah,
a lot of it
social media
stems
has
from
ruined it.
social media and looking and seeing what other people are doing, but at the same time, one, you don't know if it's real, and then
True.
secondly,
Yeah.
you don't know what those folks did to get there. You don't know the sacrifices they made or how many
Right.
years they have been saving up to
Right.
build up to do these things to
Right.
be able to live this particular type of lifestyle.
Right.
But most folks want that. Of course, we know they want it now. So if you ain't got that money now, you ain't. What we gonna do?
Well, I feel like too that a lot of women don't consider that sometimes it's greater later. So like statistically, for whatever age group, let's say they say like 40-50% of men are only making like 40,000 or something like that. But that could be like, let's say maybe they're in their 30s or early 40s. But then as men get older, that's when they really come into the bag. So, they smarter about their money. They know how to invest at that point. So, you know, then they really getting on. You getting them in their prime at that point. So I don't think a lot of women want to build with a guy that they don't take into consideration, yeah, maybe this is where he's starting, but this is not where he's going to end up. And the power of having a woman that's supportive behind you, sometimes once a lot of men get that, then they really can take off in the way that they need to, because maybe they're an entrepreneur or something, but they need that support. You know, they need somebody to have their back, like, you know, whatever their craft is, like maybe they're a carpenter or they're a plumber, whatever it is, but y'all work on the business together, and you start out, you know, as a small mom and pop company where she answering the phone and you out doing the job. And then years later, y'all got a whole fleet of trucks. So I think a lot of us don't take into account the power of that, you know, working together and building, and how in the future, then it works out for both of y'all benefit, you know.
But you're a different breed, Shannon.
And it makes you bond too, because you built something together.
For sure.
And I think the other thing people don't take into consideration is, don't forget that in sickness and health part of marriage, right? Because it could be like, I remember I saw this story. It was a lady. She was like 37 and died from brain cancer. Do you think she was thinking she was going to die at 37 of brain cancer? It was her husband that was taking care of her during that time, because this was like a 5-year battle and she ended up passing away. So don't think just because you start out on top, you might be making the money at first, and then life be lifing,
Right.
and now you sick and you can't work, and they got to look after you. So in the end, what's really more important? You know what I'm saying? Having that person that's going to look out for you and, you know, be there no matter what, and that sickness and health and that richer and poor,
For sure.
or this dollar. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's important. Yes, we all need to live. But sometimes people are trying to, we don't know how to be content in whatever season we in, you know. Bible talks about that for the Bible readers, but just whatever stage that you in, just learning how to make the most of your life. You can have a good time. I mean, like I can say for myself, it has never mattered whether I worked in fast food or today I'm in real estate, today I'm in aviation. You learn to make the best out of that situation. Like, okay, maybe I can only go to Miami, maybe I can't go to Paris, but one day I'm gonna go to Paris, you know. So you just, or maybe I can't even leave my state. Maybe I can go to the KOA campground, but you can make a good time out of that. We glamping.
Right.
There you go.
You
That's
know,
what's
so when you learn to appreciate that, those humble beginnings, then later on, you know, you can make something out of that.
I agree.
I mean, but like I said,
definitely
you a
agree.
different breed, because you talking about the marriage part, but it's the point of the dating and getting to that point. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to use that same analogy too in regards to being a backbone. We was taught coming up that women were the backbone in the home. You know what I'm saying? Made sure that everything was good and stable. But some women don't even want to get to that point, because I'm not supporting no man. Because what that means, I got to support you. No. You being the backbone of the house or whatever. If you see me trip, then you're supposed to help me to stand and get back up.
That's
Just
right.
like I'm gonna do the same for you.
That's right.
You know, but the women of today in our age group, like I said, the patience not there, and a lot of them like, I don't have no time to raise no man. I don't have no time to do this. Nobody asking you to raise them. Nobody asking you to raise me. I'm just asking you to support me. You know what I'm saying? To listen to me, whatever. You weak. Well, I gotta be weak. I mean, a man could cry too. We get hurt too. Okay,
Yeah.
We hurt. We share tears. We human. But
For sure.
I understand women has endured a lot from us men. You know, we've done a lot of dirt. You know, I mean, we have.
Some of us.
I mean, like I done told Shannon, and I done told men are like lions in the jungle. We love to hunt for our prey, right? And women are the prey. So we like to go out and forage and get as much meat as we can get to sustain our lust, our hunger.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. So to me, if you find a man and a woman that's been together for over 15, 20 years, it's not because of the woman, it's because of the man. Because he didn't learn how to subdue his passion for the hunt. He's not out there in the streets no more doing what he got to do anymore. Not saying that it's not there. It's
Right.
still there.
He's
Right.
learned how
But
to govern himself.
he learned how
Right.
to, you know what? I know what I have.
Yeah.
It's not worth it to risk it to try to keep up with these dang receipts to make sure that. And
Oh, man.
I mean, it's just not. So
Yeah.
A man needs to be recognized. I'm not saying give us a pat on the back or give us a reward or an award or whatever, but if you find a man that's been, he's actually a pretty good man, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that women need to really open up and just be more aware of what you have in front of you. So in 2024, in regards to dating, I mean, do you plan on still getting out there and trying to get that one that you want to be your husband? I mean, or are you giving up? You giving up?
Never giving up. But I'm not a pursuer, to be very honest. So, am I giving up? No, but am I out looking for my mate? I'm not. I'm really just working on me. And I would like to speak to what you said about like women need to be more open and receptive to maybe the guy that doesn't make all the money that, but still is a good guy. I don't surround myself with women that think like what you say, what you guys are talking about. My friends are not like that. We date, people that treat us well. We date people that you speak to us well, and it doesn't matter how much they make. I mean, because at the end of the day, I have to help you and you have to help me. You have to help me at some point. I have to help you. We're supposed to be partners. So how can I judge you for what you don't have when I don't got everything either? So I don't surround myself with ladies that think like that, but I do know that they are out there. So I'm glad that I have the ladies around me that are like more grounded and that they do believe that the good guy is the best guy, not so much that the money rules, right? Go ahead.
Well, I think too that so many women were raised to have that mentality about what can he do for me. They're not thinking about like what do I bring or how can I help him, but it's just, men are to pay your bills, I got one to pay the light bill, the gas bill, do all this. Like, I don't know nothing about that life.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, when I got older, I was like, what? They paying their bills?
They paying bills out here?
And all they rent,
Yeah.
They could do that?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know that existed.
I didn't know either.
So it's like, it's hard for people to turn that off, you know what I'm saying? And then say, oh, I'm going to work with this guy, who's making it. Because all they thinking about is like, I need this, I need my hair done.
And that is why, when I said the game has changed, that is why women advertise that stuff now. We talked about IG, right?
Yeah.
And they'll make a post, a man got to pay my bills, pay for my hair, blah, blah, blah. Well, you'll have a man that'll inbox her, hey, how much is your this bill, that bill, and he'll pay it, and boom, he gets sex. Where there's no dating. So the old school way of dating used to be, hey, we're dating with a purpose to marriage. Well, that's you talk to these young people now, that's not so much the goal.
It's not.
Right?
Yeah.
They're dating for gain, to pay bills, to get their hair done, to buy expensive gifts. And if I'm a single man and I don't want to be in a relationship and I just want, to hunt, right? Then how much is your DTE bill? Oh, it's $350 this month. Okay, well, hey, I'm gonna give you $500. Come over here about 9:00. And boom, you think she ain't gonna come?
But isn't that prostitution?
It is.
It used to be called prostitution.
Then what is it called?
Today,
Prostitution.
dating.
Oh, wow.
That's dating nowadays.
Is it?
That's
What
the
is
new-
that? What
I'm
is it?
just saying and that's what I'm saying. The game has changed.
No, I understand what you're saying.
And I told somebody this the other day. I gave him a cheat code. I said, "Let me give you a cheat code." And the fellas were gonna be mad if I told you this, but y'all have the power, right? You said that earlier, right?
Yeah.
Y'all have the power, and we're gonna do whatever we got to do to get what we want,
That's
right?
true.
And if you give us what it is we want easily, then that's on you, right? Not you per se,
Yeah.
but if I meet this girl and we exchange numbers and I'm texting her and we talk, it's Wednesday and Saturday she like, hey, I want to go to this restaurant because it's always it's always Ruth Chris, right? It ain't never nobody eats Chili's no more, right?
Or
It's just-
Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, it's
I
but we gonna go on this date,
do. Yeah.
and then it don't even have to be discussed. If I, the guy, hey, this is what they do. I'm gonna just give her some money, throw some money at her after the date. Oh, he gave me $500. In return, she's gonna give him a favor, right? Right there, successful date. To him, I got what I wanted. She obviously got what she wanted because she gave what she thought he wanted. That's the world we living in right now.
I agree.
That is it. So,
I agree.
money, and that is why what they out here scamming. You know what I'm saying? The pandemic, everybody they had hundreds of thousands of dollars. We didn't buy real estate.
That's
we
right.
didn't buy
Speak on it.
stocks.
Right.
Speak on it.
We went to the Gucci store.
We did.
Went to the Louis Vuitton store. We bought liquor.
And booties.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we did.
Bigger booties.
And the women, I swear, I
Yeah.
don't know who's gonna see this,
Yeah.
but all the women I know that
Yeah.
bought booties are still single.
Ain't that something?
They're still single.
Not
Dang.
rubbing on your own self.
Like,
Hey,
When
You
you get
know.
older, fat ass turns to flap.
Dang.
so
Andre 3000.
and again, the game has changed. That's it. The game has changed, and I don't know how I can get changed back. I don't know how we can change it back.
I don't see it being possible at this point. I
You
think
know.
we are at the point of no return.
Because everything is being sold. Everything has a price. Everything has a price.
Unless we kill social media, and that ain't gonna happen.
Right.
That's
Not
probably the
happening.
only way for people to go back to some sense of normalcy. Because I mean, it is. It's crazy how something can be so good but so terrible at the same time. Like social media, it helps us build our businesses. Like
Right.
we got free advertising. We could go on there in our spiel and build a whole business.
Right.
And at the same time, it can destroy your marriage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like people are no longer valuing the person that they have, the situation that they have that they used to be okay with.
Yeah.
But now that they saw social media, it's like, you know what? He ain't doing that.
Yeah.
And he ain't doing that. Well, sis, he ain't been doing that for the past 20 years, but you're still here. Now you saw that, and he got to do that. But, what I've learned, too, and I always forget this, is like, don't covet, you know what I'm saying, what you see other people doing what they have, because has not Hollywood and all these, reality shows and stuff showed us that stuff is a facade. Like, people be fighting like cats and dogs behind doors. You know how much true crime I watch where people be murking people because they done created this life. I mean, even rich people behind closed doors, they be like, and there was a financial problems and the financial problems and the
for
financial problems.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, somebody trying to cash in on that life insurance, because once people have a problem with, and I think this is too, like even with women that date like celebrities and athletes and all this kind of stuff, they don't want to not have that status. Like people are addicted to that. And so when they find out that they got to go back to being normal, they like, I can't do it. I'd rather die, or you gotta die. Like,
Right.
Either way, somebody
Somebody
die.
died. Somebody
Well,
died.
they live by the mantra now, if you're not posting it, it's not happening.
True.
So if you ain't posting, you shopping at these stores and you getting this money, then you don't have it. And that's what that's what your generation believes,
yes.
So
I'll take that.
Yeah, that's
millennial,
true.
Gen Z.
Yeah.
I mean, with that social media, and in regards to the dating or whatever, I guess it has also affected, to me, which is a positive, the cheating aspect of things too. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, it kind of made people try to change how they do things. Well, because back in the days, when you think about it, it was much easier to cheat back in the 90s and the early 2000s, but even the Fitbit can get you caught up now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no. I saw a story where a dude, he kept going out with his fellas, and around 3 o'clock in the morning, every weekend, it seems like his heart rate kept increasing.
Oh my God.
Right?
Oh, wow.
And it's like 3-something in the morning. So the wife put
Dang.
2 and 2 together. And keep in mind now, what a lot of people didn't know, like when you think about Kwame, they didn't know about the text message, how you can find things. So he wasn't thinking about the Fitbit had GPS. So she was able to find out that he was over at this girlfriend's house
Oh, player.
and found out that that's why his heartbeat
Heartbeat.
kept accelerating
Crazy.
because of the watch.
Insane.
So
dirty
an old school cheater, it's like
He never wanted to take that watch off.
like give me a
Wrist
regular
funky.
watch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But even with but now you got cell phones, you got people doing
Oh,
location and
everything.
everything.
Oh, yeah.
So it don't even pay to cheat anymore. It's like
Or to kill. Like y'all time was the time in the 80s. That was the time to get them.
now you got cameras everywhere.
Listen.
Rings, all that
So
stuff.
that's why granddaddy back in the day, you know, grandma was a housewife, grandma stayed at home, and granddaddy he went to work. If he stopped, if granddaddy had another family across town, he was able to go and visit in peace because you couldn't call a cell phone, you couldn't page him, you just when he come home, you don't ask no questions, you give him his dinner, get him ready for bed, and that was it. Well, now, you know,
Those were the days.
you know.
I mean, now of course we bring it back. We in 2024,
Right.
And so, what advice would you give someone that's a Gen X in regards to dating now? What advice would you think you would give them?
Do a background check. Always.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because people lie.
Mhm.
People be lying. And so you want to know who you're dealing with. So I would do a background check if, just to make sure they're not a criminal, murderer or something. What's good advice? I think to work on yourself first before you even think about pulling someone else into your space. A lot of people out here are functioning, have functioning, hurt, functioning, triggered by everything you say.
Mhm.
So I think it's important to be healthy before you start, pulling other people into your life.
All right.
For sure.
What about you, bro? What advice would you give?
First, I tell them be patient. Like the people dating now, be patient. Don't expect it all at once, And secondly, have real expectations of the person. Don't expect a person to have way more than you have. Don't expect that person to bring to the table everything needed for the relationship while you're working on getting yours. If you know you make $50,000 a year, don't block a guy or not talk to him because he don't make. I mean, he work at your job. Y'all work at the same job. Y'all make the same amount of money, but he ain't good enough for you.
Yeah.
Then why are you good enough for him? So just have real expectations in the dating game.
That's good.
What about you, Shannon?
Ask questions.
All the questions. All the questions.
That's first.
Yeah.
Well, but it's funny though because my fiance, he would say he don't care about none of that talk. He is all action. Like you could ask every question you want. If they ain't moving right, that's gonna tell you everything you need to know.
That's facts.
But yeah, be open. Be honest. Be open with just having different experiences. Stop being so uptight, ladies. Stop being mean.
Preach.
Just be nice.
Preach.
Be nice.
You know why I got this bling? Because he said you are nice.
You're nice.
You're just a nice person.
Yeah.
It pays.
It pays to be nice.
Man
It
just
does.
wanted to hold the door open for you, and you frowned up.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Just absolutely.
It's the truth.
Nothing is good enough for you.
That is so funny.
But at the same time, y'all be the same ones that was hanging out with Tyrone, and he didn't have nothing going on. But he was all right. But in 2024, Tyrone can't get a chance. Y'all need to stop that.
Y'all do.
Uncle Willie.
That's what's up. You know
Needs a
what?
hand.
I agree with you on that too. I say women learn how to be open. Learn how to, adapt. In business world they call it pivoting. You know what I'm saying? Pivot from your original plan and try something different. You never know. This brother probably be, the best thing that ever came into your freaking life. Fellas, I say think like a woman. No, I'm serious in most cases because my thought is, okay, it's good to know that you're creative in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
But what's your talents outside the bed?
Come on.
Do you have good credit? Do you have annual leave? Shit, I want to retire one day. Do you got a 401k, pension, something? I need to know what can you give me too.
That's definitely the conversation y'all got to have at your age bracket.
You done right, because I'm not trying to start all over again with someone who don't have nothing or whatever. So I'm sticking with what I got, because this dating scene is rough out there. So honey, I'm coming home to you. They ain't doing nothing, okay?
Listen.
But no, fellas, like I said, maybe you start thinking like a woman sometime too. Start asking questions. Make demands yourself too. And women, like I said, just open up. Keith, you're there laughing at me.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, with that being the case, I want to say thank you guys for coming on to the show.
Yes, this
And
was
putting
so
in
fun.
pleasure.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
15 cents
For
on
sure,
things
for
or whatever
sure,
like that. I
yeah.
appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
Oh,
Yes,
no, no.
It was a
absolutely.
blast.
And so, thanks to you guys for tuning into this week's episode. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, click that alert so we can keep you up to date on new contents that we are releasing. I'm looking forward to meet with her and some of her girlfriends in the future.
Oh, Lord.
This is going to be
Coming for
really
y'all.
nice.
Oh,
Okay,
Lord.
so you know, like a little town hall.
They
house
coming for
meeting
us,
or
girls.
whatever. To find out what's going on with a group of Gen X women.
Absolutely.
That's another show.
Yeah.
So thanks again for tuning in. Until next time. Peace.